Thanks for being here, you guys. Really appreciate it. I just want to say first, I want to say thanks to Louisville and their administration and our administration as well for letting us play today, because it was a quick turnaround, as you guys can imagine, from Thursday afternoon when we found out about 11:30 that we couldn't go to Texas. And then within 4 hours, we had the 4 games scheduled. You know, our administration had to okay everything. We had to make sure we were good COVID. Nathan had to do a bunch of stuff. Director of Ops, Kate Harris, had to do a bunch of stuff. And then we got to play. So really happy about that. I think the name of the game today was pitching. Montana was great, and then Kilfoyle followed it up with another really good performance. And it's not easy to either hit, pitch, or play defense when it's, I think I looked at one time, it was 38 degrees, which, you know, Kilfoyle's from Tampa, Florida. So I know she's not used to that. But just, we were happy that we got to play opening weekend. It's been a long time.
Coach, I know you kind of discussed it there at the in the intros, but what was that like? You're getting ready for this one tournament in Texas and these different opponents. All of a sudden that gets canceled. Tell me how the wheels are spinning in your head from that moment on to make all this happen and get games in this weekend.
Well, you know, and no fault to Texas. It was, you know, obviously that was the right call because it was horrible weather in Austin, and basically the whole state of Texas is just a mess right now. But when he called, you know, as soon as it was around 11:30, I called my director of ops and I said, okay, we're not going. Cancel the charter, cancel the hotel, cancel the meals, you know, all those things we needed to get done immediately. So she got on all that. And then I called my assistants and said, okay, let's find a place to play. I'd probably prefer not to fly. If we could bus somewhere, let's try that. And then I tweeted, we're, you know, Bama's looking for a place to play. Who wants to come, or who has an opening? And then the ball just started rolling like that. It was unbelievable. And, you know, the softball community is like 6 degrees of separation. You know, everybody knows everybody. And we could have played at home on Friday if our field had been ready. But, you know, when we were leaving Thursday, we left it uncovered because we do that when we leave for a weekend, because nobody's going to be on it, and the grass will grow. And, you know, and as soon as we were canceled, the field was too wet to play on Friday. But we had 2 teams that were going to come here and play Friday if the field was ready. And then Alabama State, you know, they said they'd make arrangements for us. And then we had to get the okay to go down there. And then Louisville had issues with their tournament, which was in South Carolina, and that got washed out the entire weekend. And then that's how it all came about. Holly said, okay, we're going to come. I said, let's go for it. And then obviously you guys know there was no fans today, which is really weird.
All right, good. Robert.
Hello, Coach. Congrats on your 1100th first win. First of all, could you describe your gratitude for being able to lead Alabama softball for such a long time?
Well, I appreciate that. And it is an attitude of gratitude. Just amazing to be here this long, and so many great players, so many great coaching staff members, support staff. It's just been a great ride from day one. And, you know, and it was, you know, to do this in front of nobody was really weird as well. So just very thankful to be here. You know, it doesn't happen very often that a Division I head coach in a Power 5 conference stays for 25 years. You know, you guys all know that. You've been in sports. It's just doesn't happen very often. So I'm very, very filled with gratitude and thankful.
I'll go to Brett.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the perfect opening weekend to start. You mentioned, kind of brought on a little bit in the beginning. You had Montana, who pitched great this weekend. Sarah pitched great this weekend. The next day, you kind of went with the underclassmen, so to speak, with Kilfoyle and Jayla, and they pitched great. Kilfoyle came back and pitched great again today. Can you kind of speak on I mean, you harped on it all offseason. This pitching staff is 60. You mentioned it. Can you kind of speak on what they gave you and what they kind of proved to you further this past weekend?
Well, I know, you know, when we have so many quality pitchers, you know, you have to give them some time, you know, innings. And even though Montana had the perfect game going, it's the first game of the year, it's cold. and Sarah's ready to go. So, and then she went 3 up, 3 down, and preserved the perfect game. So it's kind of cool that they went in. They're going to go in the record books together. A perfect game is a perfect game, right? But and then Jayla, it was great to see her get an opportunity. Again, she was nervous as can be, and if you guys probably didn't get to see it, but she was nervous. So first time in an Alabama uniform in a game, and but she did well. You know, she held the scores the same. And then today, same thing. You know, Kilfoyle, she's only a freshman because you know, we only got to play the 20 games last year. So for us to have the depth and the youngsters says a lot about our future, I think, too.
I'll go back to Robert.
Coach, Claire's back in the lineup. She hasn't hit for a great average, but she's come through with runners on base. Can you talk about what it's like to have a leader like her in your lineup?
That was the big hit, I think, in the first game. I think it was 2 outs, and we had gone hit, and then 2 strikeouts, and then she comes up. That was a big RBIs right there for her. And then in the second game, she hit 2 normally. If it's, you know, a normal day, those 2 probably go out, and they're in the brickyard somewhere. So I think her confidence is back. I think she looks a lot more comfortable in the box. And when she can go opposite field and hit the ball hard, that's Claire's going well. Okay. So her power is usually left center, but she had 2 shots to right center that were right on the nose. But I couldn't be happier for her. She works as hard as anybody on the team.
Go ahead, Eric.
Speak to the focus of your team. You have this change in the schedule in a short notice, playing in different teams they weren't planning, and yet they were locked in. Obviously, your pitching was dominant, but as a team as a whole, how proud are you of the focus of this team considering the changes?
Oh, extremely. And I think I don't know if I said it Thursday afternoon after, you know, everything was blown up. We had a quick, probably an hour and a half hitting session. And, you know, all these girls have played summer ball since they were 7 years old. And if you guys don't know, and some of you probably do, but a summer ball tournament, especially like in Florida or Texas, at 2 o'clock every single day in Florida, there's a, you know, 30-minute downpour of rain. And then this whole tournament has to reschedule. And, you know, you call all these hundreds of teams and say, okay, you're going to play at midnight and 2 a.m. And all these kids are like, okay, no big deal. So I kind of went back to those days. You know, sometimes they play 7 games in a day in summer ball, and they start at 8 a.m. and end at midnight. So we said, you know what, we're just going to go roll with the punches. We're going to drive back and forth to Montgomery since it's so close. We didn't stay in a hotel, so we just got buses both days. And then, you know, the end of the weekend was a doubleheader at home. So you're right. I think they handled it very, very well. I don't think anybody was looking past this. I don't think anybody was sulking about losing an opportunity to play Texas and Arizona and Colorado State. It was just like, okay, you know, shit, it's COVID. Let's just roll with the punches.
I'll go to Brett.
Coach, obviously pitch staff dominant. Your bats, I mean, 29 runs this weekend. You guys were pretty much hitting all over the place. Alyssa Brown had a great weekend. Alexis Mack had a great weekend. Hemphill had a great weekend. Kind of speak on that. Who else kind of did look, maybe not had the stats, but looked great in the box, got improved on kind of off season?
Well, you know, today, you know, or the second game, if you're only going to get 5 hits, you hope that one of them is a big one, and Dowling got the big one. So, you know, 1 hit and there's runs on the board, and that's what we're going to need more of, to tell you the truth. We're going to, instead of going single, we need single walk home run and put 3 runs on the board quickly. So, and she's been doing that since she walked into campus in August. So I think once everybody gets a little bit more comfortable in the box, the weather improves a little bit. I think you're going to see more of that. But, you know, she hit the ball hard. KB really hit the ball hard. Her couple times to left field today, that might have been over the left fielder's head on a normal day. I think she's going to hit. I think Jenna Johnson's going to hit better. So, you know, up and down the lineup. And then our pinch hitters did a good job down at Alabama State too. Kayla Davis got a hit. Kyra Lockhart got an RBI. And there's still a couple of kids that we haven't seen yet get in some game action, and they're going to hit the ball too.
I'll get the last question to Robert.
Coach, Montana has been very efficient throughout her first 2 games. You referenced her to being as Montana 2.0. How important is it for not just her, but for the whole staff to stay consistent and efficient throughout the season, where you guys have looks to be a ranked opponent every weekend?
Well, we played this little game in practice maybe a week ago, and it's a 15-pitch scrimmage. And the goal of the scrimmage is, if I'm pitching, I have to get 3 outs in 15 pitches or less. And I think today, Montana, maybe the first 5 innings, she did that, which is amazing. Because we just played a doubleheader in Division I softball in 4 hours flat, because I looked at the scoreboard and she struck the last girl out, and it was 4 o'clock. Some baseball games, we're still out there. So this was a hell of a day in terms of how fast both pitchers went, all the pitchers really, Louisville too. But Montana was very, very efficient. I thought Kilfoyle was too. I thought Montana, once she got ahead of batters, the 1-2 pitch was usually a good one. That's the key. The 1-2, if she can get the batter out in 4 pitches or less, she's going to have a good day. And I think Kilfoyle was the same way. But hey, I appreciate you guys being on. I wish you guys were here.